Good evening. I'm Anthony Venditti, and this is Real Sports. It's the first pilot episode here for Real Sports, and this show is a little different from the most common sports network. I think ESPN. ESPN has really gotten away from the most important stories in sports, and here I'm gonna get back to those stories, get back to things that are important in sports. Not things like LeBron James getting hit in the face with the ball, Johnny Manziel getting drunk again, Tim Tebow getting signed by a practice squad and not doing anything in the NFL, Steph Curry, having a black and blue on his shin. These aren't important. These are things we hear about every single day from ESPN, and we're going to talk about the real stories here. And we're going to start off in our first episode here by recapping the wild card weekend in the NFL. NFL playoffs just got underway this weekend, and great stories. We're going to talk about, just recap each game, see each team did well and what they can do to continue that. So we're going to start off with the Chiefs-Texans game, the first game of the weekend. And this game was just straight up domination from Kansas City, 30-0 win. They've won 11 in a row since starting off the season 1-5 and losing their star running back Jamal Charles. Obviously huge factors in this game was the defense having a shutout. This ranked the third best in the NFL this season. They forced 5 turnovers. Alex Smith also played pretty well, 190 yards with a touchdown, also threw an interception. Travis Kelce, 8 catches, 128 yards. Chris Conley caught the touchdown from Smith, and Spencer Ware also ran for a touchdown for Kansas City. Kansas City was just clicking on all cylinders today. As they head into Foxborough next week to play Tom Brady and the Patriots, they're just hoping to get the star receiver Jeremy Maclin back, as he suffered a high ankle sprain in this game. We're going to move on to the second game of this weekend. The Redskins-Packers. Packers' offense was huge in this game. So was their defense, but their offense finally back on track, really starting to click once again. 35-18 win for the Green Bay Packers. Most points that offense have scored all season. Aaron Rodgers was obviously a huge factor, the best quarterback in the league, had 210 yards and 2 touchdowns. Touchdowns also coming from Eddie Lacy, Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, and University at Buffalo product James Starks also scoring a touchdown in this game. They're pretty healthy heading to next week as they go to face Carson Palmer and the Cardinals in Phoenix, Arizona, which is going to be probably the best game of next weekend, in my opinion. As we move on to the Seahawks-Vikings game, defensive matchup, not a lot of offense in this one. Main factor was because of the weather. Very cold in Minnesota this weekend. It felt like it was -2, but it felt like -19 with the wind chill. Definitely the biggest factor in the game, and also 2 great defenses going at each other. This was an old school football game, and Minnesota came up with 9 points, all coming from 3 Blair Walsh field goals. But Blair Walsh, we're going to talk about him in a little bit. Seattle's lone touchdown coming from the hands of Russell Wilson to Doug Baldwin. Obviously, the difference in the game was the missed field goal by Blair Walsh, who was 3 for 4 in the game. First miss of the playoffs for him. Missed it with 22 seconds left. Would have sent the Vikings to the next round. And way left, missed 27-yard field goal, sending Seattle to the next round. The main factor on that was when you, as a placeholder, you're supposed to, the guy that holds the football, you're supposed to hold the side of the ball where there's no laces, so the kicker gets a clean kick on the ball. He gave him the laces. Not only that, the slipperiness and the coldness affected Blair Walsh as he ran up to kick it, twisted his ankle, didn't get a good stance on it, and fortunately missed a field goal, ending the Vikings season. Final game of this weekend was the Bengals-Steelers. This is the best game of the weekend, and the theme of this game was defense, just like most AFC North matchups are. 18-16 win for the Steelers. Big Ben had 229 yards and a touchdown. But the 2 main reasons why the Steelers are in the next round are for just 2 stupid penalties by the Bengals. 2 15-yard penalties, one by Adam Pac-Man Jones and one by Vontaze Burfict, both personal foul penalties. Adam Jones pushing a trainer on the field, Vontaze Burfict hitting high on Antonio Brown and giving him a concussion. He has also been suspended to start next season. Those 2 plays set up a 35-yard game-winning field goal by Chris Boswell to send the Steelers into the next round. and the Steelers are going to head on to play the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium next weekend. So that's my recap of these 4 games. Tune into the next episode as I'm going to give you my predictions for this weekend's upcoming games, as well as the key X factors for those games. For next time, I'm Anthony Venditti, and this has been Real Sports.